Sad news. Bing Crosby died today while playing golf near Madrid, Spain. He was 73. He collapsed on the course, was rushed to the hospital, but was pronounced dead on arrival. Crosby almost died last year when he fell off a stage while taping a television program. He recovered and said his only problem was that he might not be able to play golf anymore. Bing Crosby leaves behind his widow, Catherine, 7 children, and 12 grandchildren.
Bing Crosby was a prominent figure in 20th century entertainment, renowned for his smooth, velvety voice, captivating charisma, and lasting legacy in music and film. His career spanned decades, rising to fame during Hollywood's golden age, and shaping popular culture and the entertainment industry. Crosby's distinctive baritone voice propelled him to become one of the best-selling recording artists of all time, with timeless hits like White Christmas and Swinging on a Star that cemented his iconic status on the silver screen. His charm and talent shone brightly in beloved classics such as Going My Way and The Bells of St. Mary's, showcasing his effortless versatility as both an actor and singer. However, behind the glitz and accolades, Crosby's life painted a far darker picture. Despite his seeming embodiment of the American dream, Bing Crosby's personal life was full of turmoil, particularly in his strained relationships with the children from his first marriage to Dixie Lee after she passed away in 1952. The image of the perfect family was shattered when his son Gary revealed disturbing truths about the legendary entertainer. This revelation forever changed the way the world viewed the man behind the music. A playful neighbor's nickname, Bingo from Bingville, inspired by a local newspaper, hinted at the drama that would define Crosby's life from a young age. At just 6, he discovered a photograph that ignited his passion for music, leading him to abandon law school for the uncertain world of show business. By the mid-1920s, he found early success with the Rhythm Boys, his unique jazz style inspiring imitators like Dean Martin. However, Crosby's path to fame was not without obstacles. A bout of laryngitis in the 1930s strained his voice, and when doctors discovered a vocal cord node, they advised him to rest, but Crosby chose to ignore their recommendations. Despite straining his voice by heavily consuming alcohol, which severely impacted his condition by the mid-1930s, Bing Crosby's inability to hit high notes led him to pivot towards slower ballads. Surprisingly, this change in style made him a legendary figure, as his new approach resonated deeply with the public, earning him the title the Voice of the Nation. However, behind his fame lay a story of resilience, reinvention, and the cost of pursuing stardom. In 1930, Bing Crosby married actress Dixie Lee, but their relationship faced a rocky start, with Dixie filing for divorce just 6 months later. Dixie initially thought she and Bing couldn't be together, but later changed her mind and reunited with him after talking to a friend. Dixie gave up her film career to focus on their family, but while Bing thrived in his work, Dixie felt lonely and turned to alcohol for comfort. Her addiction had a lasting impact on their 4 sons, who witnessed her struggles firsthand. Their daughter Mary later described how Dixie's drinking left emotional scars on the family. In 1943, another tragedy struck when a fire caused by a short circuit while taking down their Christmas tree destroyed their family home. The fire destroyed Bing's precious belongings, including his awards and musical recordings, leaving the family devastated. Despite the love shared between Bing and Dixie, their life was marked by pain, addiction, and heartbreaking loss, showing that even the most successful people face deep personal challenges. Bing Crosby's remarkable career spanned over 1,200 songs, cementing his legendary status. Yet, one song, White Christmas, overshadowed all his other achievements, becoming the best-selling single of all time for decades, as recorded in the Guinness Book of World Records. However, some argue that this iconic tune both benefited and hindered Crosby's enduring legacy. Bing Crosby was known as the iconic voice of Christmas, famous for his rendition of White Christmas. However, Crosby saw things differently. In a 1977 interview with Barbara Walters, he candidly expressed that he could never tire of his most popular song, fearing that people might grow weary of the festive cheer it brought to millions. Crosby's personal life was less harmonious. While he exuded charm on stage, he struggled as a father, with his demanding work schedule keeping him absent from his 4 sons' lives. Fearful of his sons becoming entitled Hollywood kids, a lifestyle he despised, Crosby sent them to boarding schools, creating a rift and leaving them feeling abandoned rather than protected. Crosby's marriage to Dixie Lee was also fraught with difficulties, though he remained loyal to her, even considering divorce at times. Bing Crosby's wife, Dixie, fell ill in 1945, initially with a respiratory infection, but rumors suggested it was actually an accidental overdose. Her health worsened over the years due to loneliness, depression, and heavy drinking. At age 40, she was diagnosed with terminal ovarian cancer, but her doctor and Crosby's chose to keep the prognosis from her, hoping to spare her additional distress. Crosby even went abroad for a film project to maintain a sense of normalcy. When Dixie passed away, Crosby was not there, and her death at a young age left the family devastated. At the funeral, the scene was chaotic, with photographers swarming the event, turning it into a circus, according to Crosby's son. Crosby withdrew and refrained from publicly discussing the pain he felt after losing Dixie. He concealed his emotions behind a stoic demeanor, even though he brought joy to millions while carrying a heavy burden of sorrow. In the late 1940s, as Dixie Lee struggled with alcoholism, Crosby found comfort with actress Joan Caulfield, and their secret affair remained hidden until after his death. Another mistress, Patricia Neal, later revealed the affair in her autobiography, acknowledging that she and Caulfield were in similar situations. Crosby's personal life was the subject of much gossip. Two sisters, Violet and Mary Barca, became amateur detectives, closely following Crosby's activities and recording their observations, uncovering his secret meetings with Caulfield. Even Crosby's sister Betty confirmed the affair, adding to the scandal. Despite his deep feelings for Caulfield, Crosby struggled with his Catholic values, torn between his love for her and his duty to his wife Dixie. Though he considered leaving Dixie, he ultimately stayed by her side, even as her personal struggles put a strain on their marriage. After Dixie's death, Crosby embraced the single life, dating famous women like Pat Sheen, Grace Kelly, and Inger Stevens, before actress Katharine Grant eventually won his heart. However, this second marriage brought its own set of challenges, as Crosby's new family came with its own issues, and his first set of children felt neglected. Crosby struggled to properly care for his children, and his relationship with his first family was often strained. As he got older, the music industry changed, and new popular artists like Elvis Presley and the Beatles overshadowed his once prominent status. However, in 1977, the industry recognized his 50-year career with a special celebration. But this event nearly turned tragic when Crosby fell off the stage, suffering a serious injury that left him unable to walk. His daughter later commented that the fall should have killed him. Sadly, this close call foreshadowed the sudden and surprising end of Crosby's life, which, like much of it, was marked by both successes and difficulties. Bing Crosby traveled to Spain hoping to relax with some golf and hunting. While in high spirits on the golf course, he reached the 9th hole when a group of construction workers recognized him. They asked him to sing, and Crosby, always the entertainer, happily obliged, serenading them with "Strangers in the Night." Unaware that this would be his final performance, Crosby went on to win his final round of golf. As he walked back to the clubhouse, he turned to his friends with a smile, saying, "That was a great game of golf, fellas. Let's go have a Coca-Cola." These were his last words. As just 20 yards from the clubhouse, Crosby collapsed from a massive heart attack and never regained consciousness. At 74 years old, the beloved star's life ended suddenly. After Crosby's death in 1977, the carefully curated and wholesome public image that he had meticulously cultivated over decades as one of America's most beloved entertainers began to unravel. The facade of the genial, family-friendly crooner was shattered when, in 1983, his eldest son Gary Crosby published a scathing memoir that pulled back the curtain on the darker, more disturbing private reality of life inside the Crosby household. In the explosive tell-all book, Gary leveled a series of devastating allegations against his famous father, accusing him of subjecting his children to years of emotional and physical abuse. According to Gary's vivid and deeply troubling accounts, Crosby would routinely berate and humiliate his sons over their physical appearances, cruelly mocking their weight and body shapes. The most shocking revelations, however, centered on Crosby's use of physical punishment, with Gary describing how his father would viciously whip him and his siblings with a belt studded with sharp metal pieces, leaving their skin bruised and bloody. These disturbing claims were lent further credibility when another of Crosby's sons, Lindsay, came forward to corroborate his brother's harrowing testimony. Lindsay's decision to substantiate Gary's account was seen by many as particularly significant, as Crosby had long been believed to have favored Lindsay over his other children. The fact that even the golden child was willing to speak out against their father's mistreatment stunned the public and further tarnished Crosby's carefully curated public image as a kind, loving patriarch. Suddenly, the warm, affable persona that had earned Crosby adulation and acclaim for decades was revealed to be nothing more than an elaborate facade masking a dark and abusive reality behind closed doors. The revelations contained in Gary's memoir, supported by his brother's own testimony, irrevocably shattered the myth of Bing Crosby as a benevolent, family-oriented entertainer, replacing it with a much more troubling and complex portrait of a man capable of unspeakable cruelty towards his own flesh and blood. Beneath Crosby's public image as a favored son was a man grappling with the demons of alcoholism and depression, a private battle that cast a long shadow over his life. Crosby had even considered admitting his son Lindsay to a psychiatric facility, a last-ditch effort to save him from the downward spiral that threatened to consume him. Tragically, Lindsay's struggles only intensified after Crosby's passing, as the family's once abundant inheritance dwindled, leaving him destitute and without the resources to seek the help he so desperately needed. In his darkest hour, Lindsay succumbed to the overwhelming despair, taking his own life in December 1989. The Crosby family's heartbreak, however, did not end there. Crosby's other son, Dennis, also fell victim to the family's tragic fate, passing away at the young age of 56. His brother, recalling the haunting memory, described how their mother's death had dimmed Dennis's spirit, leaving him a mere shadow of his former self. The family's once vibrant legacy now seemed to be unraveling, as if the very threads that held them together were slowly unraveling. The Crosby family drama deepened further when Philip, another of Crosby's sons, vehemently rejected Gary's accusations, believing his brother was only motivated by a thirst for fame and money. Philip's anger toward Gary ran so deep that he vowed to carry it with him until his dying day, a testament to the profound rift that had torn the family asunder. As the years passed, the Crosby family's story became a cautionary tale, a stark reminder of the devastating consequences that can arise when the pressures of fame, addiction, and mental health issues collide. The once triumphant Crosby family had become a symbol of the fragility of the human condition, their story serving as a poignant reminder that even the most celebrated among us are not immune to the trials and tribulations that can befall any family. Bing Crosby's children had diverse paths, with some facing challenges and others finding success. His son Gary Crosby, from his second marriage to Katharine Grant, had a tumultuous journey. He starred in the original Friday the 13th film, playing the role of the ill-fated camp counselor Jack, showcasing his acting talent. However, later in life, he found stability and success in the financial sector, becoming an accomplished investment banker. In contrast, Bing Crosby's daughter Mary Crosby gained widespread recognition and acclaim for her portrayal of the iconic character Pamela Barnes Ewing on the hit television series Dallas. Her captivating performance on the popular show cemented her status as a talented actress and a household name. Meanwhile, Bing Crosby's son Nathaniel Crosby followed in his father's footsteps, becoming an accomplished golfer in his own right. He won the prestigious U.S. Amateur Championship in 1981, a testament to his golfing prowess and the influence of his legendary father's legacy. Bing Crosby's personal life took an unexpected turn after the passing of his wife, Katharine Grant. He briefly dated and even proposed to a woman named Pat Sheen. This unexpected relationship, however, took an interesting twist when Pat Sheen later married Bing Crosby's son, Dennis Crosby, creating a complex and intriguing family dynamic that added to the Crosby family's rich and multifaceted story. The diverse paths of Bing Crosby's children, from the challenges faced by his son Gary to the success and acclaim of his daughter Mary and son Nathaniel, as well as the unexpected personal developments in his own life after his wife's death, all contributed to the captivating and intricate narrative that surrounds the legendary entertainer's family. Bing Crosby, the legendary entertainer, achieved unparalleled fame and success during his lifetime, captivating audiences worldwide with his smooth vocals and charismatic stage presence. However, the legacy of his enduring stardom cast a long shadow over his children, who each navigated the challenges of growing up in the limelight with varying degrees of success and struggle. Gary Crosby, the eldest son, found himself wrestling with the immense pressure of living up to his father's celebrated legacy. Haunted by personal demons and a battle with addiction, Gary's journey was marked by a constant search for his own identity, often overshadowed by the towering figure of his iconic father. Despite his struggles, Gary managed to forge a career career in the entertainment industry, though his accomplishments were often eclipsed by the public's enduring fascination with Bing Crosby's unrivaled success. In contrast, Bing's daughter Mary embraced the family's artistic heritage with remarkable talent and success. Following in her father's footsteps, Mary's critically acclaimed acting roles and mesmerizing musical performances earned her widespread recognition and accolades, solidifying her place as a formidable talent in her own right. Her ability to carve out a distinct path while honoring her father's legacy served as a source of immense pride for the Crosby family. Nathaniel Crosby, the youngest child, charted an entirely different course, demonstrating his own unique artistic prowess. Excelling in the sport of golf, Nathaniel's natural talent and dedication propelled him to become a renowned professional player, bringing further honor and distinction to the Crosby name. His accomplishments on the golf course not only showcased his athletic abilities, but also reflected the family's diverse talents and the ability to forge their own unique legacies. Throughout the lives of Bing Crosby's children, the weight of their father's immense success and fame was ever present, shaping their individual journeys in profoundly different ways. While some struggled to emerge from his shadow, others found their own paths to success, ultimately affirming the Crosby family's enduring legacy as a multifaceted dynasty of creative talents and accomplished individuals. Shortly after his marriage to his wife, Dennis Crosby, one of Bing's sons, found himself embroiled in a highly publicized paternity lawsuit. A woman named Marilyn Miller Scott had filed a legal claim against him, alleging that he was the father of her young daughter. Despite Dennis's protestations and attempts to refute the allegations, the court ultimately ruled in favor of Marilyn, determining that he was indeed the child's biological parent. This unexpected and scandalous personal development added to the complex tapestry of the Crosby family's story, shedding light on the intricate personal lives and challenges that lay beneath the surface of their public personas. The diverse experiences and trajectories of Bing Crosby's children, combined with the unexpected personal developments that unfolded within the family, all contributed to the captivating and intricate narrative that surrounds the legendary entertainer's legacy. From the triumphs and struggles of his offspring to the unexpected revelations that surfaced in the private lives of the Crosby clan, the story of this iconic family remained a source of fascination and intrigue for generations, providing a glimpse into the complex realities that often lie behind the glitz and glamour of celebrity. The aftermath of the highly publicized paternity case was deeply embarrassing and distressing, not only for Dennis Crosby, but also for his legendary father, the renowned singer Bing Crosby. The tension and acrimony that erupted between the Crosby and Scott families only seemed to intensify in the wake of the scandalous court ruling. Tragically, it is said that Bing Crosby, the revered patriarch of the famous entertainment dynasty, never even had the opportunity to meet his purported granddaughter at the center of this sordid affair before his untimely passing. The close-knit Crosby clan had always prided themselves on their wholesome, all-American image, a reputation that had been carefully cultivated over decades in the unforgiving glare of the public eye. However, this ugly and divisive chapter in their family history threatened to unravel that meticulously crafted public persona, casting an unflattering and unwanted shadow over their zealously guarded legacy. The embarrassment, shame, and social stigma surrounding the paternity lawsuit lingered for years, a dark cloud that refused to dissipate and continued to haunt the famous family, no matter how hard they tried to move past it and leave the scandal behind. This ignominious episode had an indelible and lasting impact, a permanent stain that the Crosbys would struggle to fully erase from public memory. The fallout from the tawdry legal battle played out in the relentless media spotlight, further exacerbating the Crosbys' profound sense of humiliation and tarnishing their previously unblemished reputation. No matter how the family tried to distance themselves from the sordid details and regain control of their narrative, the specter of the paternity case continued to loom over them, a painful reminder of the scandal that had rocked their once pristine public image to the core.